Hi, thank you for coming back to my site. This is Bob again. In my 43 years as a Christian, I've had a lot of miracles happen to me in my life. And recently, of course, I've started doing this YouTube video project, sharing a lot of things that have happened to me. And before this YouTube video, I haven't been able to share them. So I had another interesting miracle happen to me, and I wanted to share that with you. Um, the Lord is dealing with me in reference to all of these miracles and YouTube videos. I'm not quite sure where he's headed, uh, where I'm headed with his direction, but once it becomes clear, I will let you know. But this particular miracle happened a few years ago, and it happened with my mother. Now, I'm Jewish, and therefore I have a very protective, overprotective Jewish mother. Uh, but one day in Orlando, where she lived, I knocked on her door, and she opened the door and she looked at me and she said, "Can I help you?" And you could imagine uh, that was quite a surprise. But obviously, she was beginning to have Alzheimer's. And as the years went by, they had to put her in a nursing home because she had, I guess, what you would call, I don't know, full-blown Alzheimer's, where she didn't recognize any of her family. And it was a very sad thing for us, the family. But I decided one weekend to go visit her with my wife and see if I could witness to her maybe, one last time. And that's what we did. We went to the nursing home and we met her there. And I did witness to her. And I did start to give her the plan of salvation. And to my surprise, she was listening and nodding her head and agreeing at the right moments. And it appeared that she was understanding what I was saying. Uh, and then I asked her if she wanted to be saved, if she wanted to ask Jesus into her life and be saved. And again, to my surprise, she said yes, that she would. So far, so good. And then I led her in the prayer. And again, to my surprise, she was repeating everything that I said correctly. And it went very smooth. And she had asked Jesus into her heart. And my wife and I looked at each other and we sort of winked at each other that this was quite a miracle. And we were very happy, very pleased. Um, of course, unfortunately, moments later, she went back into the Alzheimer's. It was as if the Lord had given her a brief moment of clarity so that we could share um, the gospel with her. Uh, I remember asking the Lord at one time when I got home, how did this happen? And I remember him saying to me that he can do whatever he wants to do. He's the Lord, he's God, and if he wanted to do that, give her a window of clarity and for her to get saved without ever hearing about Jesus her entire life, that he was the Lord, and if he wanted to do that, he could do it. But of course, when I got home, I asked my wife, how can we be sure that my mom got saved? It was an obvious question. And then I got an idea, and that idea was to pray and ask the Lord if she truly got saved. And that's what I did. So I got down on my knees and I began to ask the Lord if he could show us and prove to us, for my sake, uh, that she really got saved. And before I even got started with my prayer, I heard the Lord say to me, John the Baptist in prison. Now, if you followed some of my other YouTube videos, you know that uh, this is not uncommon for me to hear these things. And the Lord usually has a reason for mentioning that. So what I did was I got my Bible out and I studied briefly about John the Baptist in prison and what could that possibly mean in this situation. And I found out that John's disciples had asked Jesus, how do we know that Jesus is the Messiah? It's not the exact question that I was asking, but it's pretty similar. And what Jesus said to John's disciples was the miracles. Tell John about the miracles that happened. And that was some sort of code to John the Baptist uh, that, yes, he is the Messiah, because obviously John the Baptist knew about the prophecies about the miracles, and that was Jesus's answer to the disciples and to John himself. Now, when I left Florida to go to New York City to speak to my mom, that entire period of time could have been summed up in one word, and that word was miracles. There were so many miracles that happened that stretch of time. It was over a few days that my wife even agreed that it was an amazing trip with all of the miracles that happened. And when I heard the Lord say, or when I read in the scriptures, tell John that it was the miracles, it was to me sort of Jesus saying, Bob, the miracles that happened over this period of time that you were in New York, that my mom got saved, that was a confirmation as to the fact that my mom truly did get saved because of the situation with John the Baptist, with the situation with him asking that important question, how similar it was to my situation and my asking of that question. And the answer was exactly the same. And to be honest with you, from that moment on, when I realized what Jesus was saying, I had never doubted, ever doubted that my mom got saved. And it was the Lord's way of confirming it and proving it to me that she did get saved. And up until this day, and I'm sure for forever, I will see my mom in heaven. She got saved. The Lord confirmed it for me. And it was just an incredible answer to prayer. Okay.